There you go. I'm also going to ask everybody to stay on mute while we talk, although it's going to be pretty casual. And we'll take questions at the end if you want to stick around and talk. So I guess we can get started.
All right, I'm going to start out, Mary, by asking you a question. Let's talk a little bit about why you wrote this book, why you framed it around the Simpson trial, and what you've learned since publication. Those are going to be 3 areas we're going to talk about.
Okay. Well, first, maybe for people that haven't read it, I'll tell you a little bit about what it's about. It's about a family in Huntington Beach in the 1990s. It starts on June 17th, 1994. The family's on the freeway going to a party. Frank Lockhart, the father, he works at the post office. His wife, Brenda, stays home with their 2 teenage daughters, Peggy, who's 18, and Allison, who's 17. And Frank picks this night to announce to Brenda that he's leaving her for an older and, in Brenda's always very judgmental opinion, much less attractive woman. And this is on the night of the Simpsons slow speed chase through Southern California. So Brenda's never worked outside the home. Now she's going to have to find a job, but instead she sits down on her couch, opens a bottle of Chardonnay, and turns on the Simpson trial, and she gets hooked on it. So meanwhile, her 2 teenage daughters are making their own mistakes with lovers and with crime.
It's pretty involved start, but where did the idea for this story come from?
Well, I was interested at the time when I started writing this about 6 years ago. I was thinking a lot about choices and regrets, as one does when one gets to a certain point in life. I married when I was 36 and never had any children. And my husband and I have had frequently this occasion where people will come up to us and say, "Oh, you're so lucky you don't have kids," or "You were so wise to wait to start a family. I regret what I did. I feel like I missed out on my life." And Steve and I always thought, wow, that's an interesting observation. I think everyone has made choices that they regret. So I wanted to explore what it's like maybe to be someone who married really early and started a family and completely regretted it. So that's Brenda's story. And then I like writing about things that I don't always understand. And I'm really interested in the relationships between mothers and daughters and sisters. I, of course, have a mother, but I've never been one. And I am a sister, but I don't have one. So I was just really curious as to what those relationships are like. So that's where the idea came from.
Okay, and then specifically, why did you frame it around the Simpson trial?
So I'm a first-time novelist, and I think I'm much better at writing character than I am writing a plot. So it was really helpful for me to have a framework to pin the story to.
Okay, but why Simpson in particular?
Yeah, I'm also really interested in what they call flashbulb moments, where like the Simpson case, like JFK's assassination, like 9/11, because people tend to remember those. They remember where they were and who they were with and how they felt. For example, when JFK was assassinated, I was in 6th grade on a playground in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I remember our teacher gathered us in a circle and made us sit down on the ground. And then he told us, and we were all really shocked, but we felt like we're in a community, it was comforting. Well, contrast that to my 9/11 experience. I was in Chicago at an auditing conference, getting ready to do a presentation. We saw the planes crash in the tower. Everybody went back to their hotel rooms and just clicked, their doors locked. So I felt really isolated. With the Simpson chase, I, along with 95 million other Americans, was sitting on my couch, eating pizza, and hoping that I didn't watch OJ get shot. I mean, the memories of the Rodney King beating were pretty fresh in everyone's mind at that time. It was 2 years later. So, and I think the Simpson murders and the trials occurred at a really pivotal moment in television and American history. we already had reality TV shows like The Real World. I don't know if you remember that. So the events of the Simpson chase seemed like an episode of the real world. Also, we had court TV that had just started, and that was really popular. And once they let the cameras in the courthouse, it seemed like another episode of court TV. And then we had this fascination with celebrity already. People felt like they knew Simpson, they liked him, they didn't want to believe that he was guilty of such a horrible crime. And then I also think that the helicopters made a really huge difference in searing these memories in our brains. Helicopters had recently been started, TV shows have recently started using helicopters for news. And I think just the image of the Bronco on the freeway with all the police cars behind them, just from above on the empty freeway, it's iconic, right? I mean, everyone remembers that, and the helicopters played a big part in it. So I know Peter has a personal connection with these helicopters. You want to talk about that a little bit, Peter?
Yeah, Kim and I left Mammoth to work in LA, and I worked for an independent news company that had the foresight or vision or unfortunate foresight to decide that having a helicopter gave them an edge in breaking news. There's that Jake Gyllenhaal movie, Night Stalker, where he's a stringer, tries to come up with stories, beat the other news stations to the stories. The people I worked for worked 24 hours. We had 12-hour crews. And then the helicopter, I think at one point I told them the money the helicopter generates when there's a story, why do you even bother having day crews? And I think a month later, they decided to get rid of everybody except the helicopter. So I don't think it was a good thing to say. But it started something where every station that didn't have its own helicopter started having a dedicated helicopter. And the celebrity aspect of it for us became really apparent with Rock Hudson coming to LA. I remember somebody from Time Magazine coming into our office at midnight in Hollywood going, "What you did is horrible, it's wrong, when can I have the pictures?" And that was sort of the start of it. It was a business, and the money in the business was increasingly covering celebrities and the ins and outs and foibles of celebrities. That was my kind of connection to it. And then when the chase happened, we were in a park in Irvine along the freeway and tuned into it and listened to the whole thing. And I think my sister and brother-in-law who were in the helicopter got an Emmy for it. They got a couple different awards for different tragic events.
Peter's sister and her then husband actually were the ones that captured Reginald Denny being beaten after the Rodney King verdict, and then they were one of the first to follow the OJ Bronco on the freeway. So,
Yeah,
so Peter, you were standing on the freeway just watching the parade go by.
No, I was in a softball uniform on a park right along the freeway. We just watched it. It was slow. It was just this crawl along, like slow motion video along the freeway. Everybody on the overpasses, which was right next to it, were cheering. It was a pretty interesting thing.
It's also, I read a study by Nielsen. They did a survey of the 50 top television moments. And it's interesting that it's not sports or entertainment. They're all news. And number 3 is October 3rd, 1995, when Simpson was declared innocent. And number 6 was the OJ chase. So it's definitely resonates with people. So I guess that's one reason I thought, what a good night to start a story, you know?
Yeah, but out of curiosity, why do you think with all the newsworthy items that they have listed, why do you think Simpson got within the top 10 twice?
Well, like we were talking before, it was on TV every single day, day and night, like, General Hospital. My mother-in-law couldn't watch her soap operas during the day. This young man that just interviewed me was complaining that he remembers his cartoons were preempted. I mean, the trial was everywhere. So I think, plus Simpson was a beloved character. I'm not a sports fan, but I know he's revered in sports. He was in a lot of movies. He made those commercials. And I think we feel like we know celebrities and we want to believe that we understand them.
Yeah, he was maybe one of the first celebrities to really go from being a sports icon to being a Hollywood icon. Um, but another theme within Simpson that you really touch on here, not just with Simpson, but with another character, Allison's boyfriend, is the arrogant athlete and domestic violence. Was that intentional?
Yeah, it is really important. I know I've learned not to give people the idea that this story is about O.J. Simpson or whether it explores whether he was guilty or innocent. He's just on the TV in the background. There's a lot of other stuff going on in this family. He's just the soundtrack. But yeah, actually, I think Peter, you're the one that pointed out to me that there are some threads. Simpson was an entitled athlete that could get away with it with murder, literally. There's a character in the novel that is also an athlete that gets away with a lot.
Yeah, that's really true. And plus, you have one of your main characters resembles Nicole Simpson.
Yeah, Brenda's, and I think that was kind of intentional on my part. Brenda kind of follows Nicole Simpson's trajectory. They both met their husbands in a steakhouse. They both got married when they were really young. They both started their families really early. Neither one of them worked outside the home. Of course, Nicole had a much nicer home not to work outside of. And neither one of them, they felt entitled to a privileged lifestyle, but neither one of them had the agency or the impetus to create that lifestyle for themselves. So they felt like they'd gotten shortchanged.
Okay, so you got OJ, and then you got a character that mirrors the life of OJ. And then you have, as you've mentioned to me, people have told you early before this that you resembled Marcia Clark. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, it was the 90s. What can I say? I had the perm. I was a mid-level manager at the post office. I wore the same kind of little peplum suits. Yeah, I had that perm. It was really annoying to me how the news media always focused on how she looked, what she was doing with her hair, and what she was wearing, and who was taking care of her two sons. I mean, there was all this focus on her personal life and not on how she was conducting the trial. And I found that really frustrating.
Another topically interesting coincidence with this is it's set in the post office, and the post office has, through the last election and currently, has been such a big topic in our society and our politics. Why did you set it in the post office? And why did you set the story in Huntington Beach?
Well, I think most people here know that I had a long career with the post office. It was not intentional, although it is in my DNA. My two grandfathers were both railway mail clerks, and I don't know if you know anything about that job, but they basically stood on a train as it rolled through a town and grabbed sacks of mail on and off the train. My father worked with my grandfather for one Christmas and said he's never going to work there. And I didn't intend to work there very long. What my MO at that point was, I graduated from high school. I didn't go to college. I went to work, and I would save money, and then I would go on a nice trip, and then I'd come back and find another job. So I had just come back from backpacking in Europe, and my girlfriend said, "Hey, they're hiring at the post office. Let's go take the test." So we did. I don't think she got hired, or maybe she chose not to work there, but I started working there thinking I was not going to stay there very long. But I stayed on for a lot of reasons. For one big reason, I met my husband there. I made a lot of lifelong friends. Um, I got to work with people from all different cultures and backgrounds. And I know this sounds really nerdy, but I believe in the sanctity of the mail and universal mail service. And it felt really good in the morning to watch the mail go out on the trucks and think, it's going to everybody's house. I really like that feeling. So yeah, plus I knew the whole time I worked there were so many good stories there. People work weird hours. They feel like nobody understands them except their coworkers, especially when you work a graveyard shift. So you get really tight friendships, and you also have a lot of drama. So definitely there was a lot of drama that I incorporated into the book.
Well,
And then I set it in Huntington because I live here. There's also a lot of drama here. But at the time, 1990s, Huntington was still almost affordable for a working class family. not really that affordable for a single income family. But Huntington, it's always been more affordable than most Southern California beach towns. You know, it's got all the oil derricks. It doesn't have beautiful coves or crystal blue water. It's got wide expanses of beach, and that attracts all kinds of elements here, as I'm sure most of you have been watching on our news. But yeah, it was an affordable place. I wanted to set the family in a place that they could almost afford. And I wanted to tell a story about a working class Southern California family, not one that's related to Hollywood or the music business or anything like that.
I thought it was really interesting with the post office, just to sort of get a little more idea of that of the people and the personalities and what goes on between the, when you just lick a stamp, put it on an envelope and then open your mailbox and get mail, just the sheer volume of work and stories and different personalities that, make society work. And it's, we're looking at so much discussion now about what's a good job, what's a real job, and you're actually, you're delivering something, you're producing something, and it's a problem we seem to be trying to deal with socially now. Of what's a good pay? Somebody posted something the other day saying that $15 an hour for fast food workers was horrible. It was more than military specialist ones are paid, and I'm sitting there going, specialist ones, as far as I know, don't have to buy food, don't have to pay rent. It's really, really tough. I don't know how people make it on minimum wage, and $15. I don't know how they would make it. And I think one of the things in your story that starts to get really mirrored is that the one income family is starting not to be able to make it financially.
Yeah, there aren't jobs like the post office anymore where you can be unskilled labor and retire with a pension and have great benefits. I mean, it's, and I think what you were kind of going down something I agree with. Not every kid needs to go to college right after high school, but that's the direction we push kids. You know.
Yeah, we can't all be entrepreneurs either. Somebody has got to be working, filling employment opportunities and doing the stuff that, that people that are entrepreneurs can make their money and live in their gated communities. I'm not bitter or anything, uh, but let's move into, the second sort of theme in this is, aside from writing the book and aside from what the book is about and the things that influence the book, what was the publishing journey? I mean, I met you at a Lisa Alvarez's writing class before they stopped letting us take the class as often as we wanted to. And I've seen different versions of short stories, but, talk about how you got this all together and the process of writing it, editing it, leaving things out, and then what you had to go through to find someone to publish it.
Well, about 6 years ago, I had the story in mind. It's went through a lot of changes since then. It started out about the younger daughter at a later point in her life, and then once I found Brenda, she kind of took over the story. And I think once you read it, you'll know what I mean, because she's kind of relentless. She's certainly not likable. I mean, that's one. None of my characters I would describe as particularly likable. I hope that you root for them, and I hope you think that they're human. But Brenda especially, she got under my skin in all kinds of ways. So she wouldn't let me go. So once I got the story into what I thought was really a novel, I was really adamant I was going to publish it traditionally, which meant I needed to find an agent. So I'm a very stubborn person myself, and I literally queried over 100 agents trying to find someone that would represent me. And that's just the beginning of the journey of publishing, in case you don't know. Like, you find an agent and then they still have to sell it to a publisher. So it's a long journey, and I'm not getting any younger. So someone tells me about She Writes Press, and I check it out and I think, wow, this looks like a really solid product. And I sent them the book. Well, to back up a little bit, I got all kinds of good responses from agents. I mean, either with agents, those of you that know, either you don't get any response at all, or you get something like, hey, this is good, send me more pages. And then you get this response that says, yeah, this is good writing. I like the premise. I just don't think I can sell it. And in hindsight, now I can see the novel was too long. It was 106,000 words at the point I was querying it. Now it's 93,000 words. It falls into a weird category that maybe is hard to put on a bookshelf. It's not historical fiction and it's not contemporary fiction. And then also, I'm an older writer with not much of a social media platform. So, I can see where it's a risk to sign someone like me. But She Writes Press, they loved it immediately. They wanted it, although they didn't want it immediately because they're a small press. They have a long list of people ahead of me. So I actually signed with them about 2 years ago. And then I had plenty of time to reconsider the novel and think, oh, I can make it better. Oh, I can make it slimmer. And I think I really did that. I think that was it was good for me. I keep thinking I'm starting a new novel, and then I would go back and say, I take one more whack at this. So I feel like I'm really proud of it. And She Writes Press is a hybrid publisher, which means that the author contributes to the process, and it's expensive, but the returns are greater. You get you get more of the royalties, and you also get to be more involved in the process. Like I was able to have control of the cover, the title, the page design. I've got a team that works for me that knows what they're doing. I didn't have to figure out how to publish it on my own. And the really powerful thing is the sisterhood, because it's a feminist press. It's all women. They publish women's books. And like Leslie and Suzanne are here. And it's just really supportive community that you can ask any dumb question you want and they don't laugh at you and they help you. They support you. So it's really wonderful. So
One of the things that has really impressed me over the process, especially the last 6 months, is how you've danced, adapted, and figured out how to do social media, blogging, emails, different ways of communicating. Was that something you got direction through the publisher, or did you just kind of come to that naturally, or did you research it?
well, it's definitely not natural. I think I've been described as a severe introvert, so it's definitely not natural to me. Um, it's really through the sisterhood. Like I watch what other people are doing and I say, I could probably do that. So I've learned how to do all kinds of things. Like I made a Spotify video, I'm working with Canva, I'm making memes, I'm on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook my husband's probably sick of me looking at my phone all the time. But it's been fun. And I kind of decided I wasn't going to not do something because it scared me, but I would just try it. And if I didn't like it, then I wouldn't do it. But really, everything's been kind of fun. So,
Well, for an introverted person who didn't initially step out much, it seems that one thing you've mentioned to me is you found an incredible power of community. Can you talk about that?
yeah, and that I had that way before I started any of this. I mean, it's really easy for me to champion other writers because it's in I feel like that's what I have to do. I mean, I know a lot of wonderful writers, and I think it's really critical to support them. So, and it's amazing the support that I've gotten. I mean, people have been so kind and so generous and trying to find, ways for me to like get my book out there. And it's really wonderful. We're all doing the same thing, right? So we're all in competition, but not really, because I think we're all selling each other our books, really. I think that's what it feels like sometimes, but it's a warm, wonderful community. So I really appreciate that.
Now that you've published a novel, have you thought a little bit back on how it's changed you? Have you learned anything from it?
Well, I've learned how it's important to be stubborn. Um, it's important to recognize the value of your own voice and decide to go forward with it, even when a lot of people are saying, "Nah, we're going to pass." So I'm really glad I'm stubborn. Like I said, the community is really important. I'm actually looking forward to like going back and reading other people's books and championing them instead of tooting my own horn so much. What else have I learned? Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of family and friends that are showing up for me, and I really appreciate that.
So one of the things early on, I think from the classes we've been in, you get some criticism initially, and the first thing you think of, they're telling me my baby is ugly. Um, it, how long did it take you? What was the process to go from taking criticism really, really negatively to stepping back and seeing how it could help you improve? Was that just an ongoing process?
Well, I'm not sure that I'm I'm I can really do that, but I'm doing my best. In workshops, I learned fairly early that you can't you listen to everybody in the workshop and you appreciate what they're telling you, but you cannot do every single thing that they tell you to do because you'll just end up with a big mess. Because everybody has different ideas, right? About where the story should be set, what's the character's motivation, what do they look like, who do they sound like. You have to trust your own voice. It's really helpful to have other people give you advice in making the story better, but you have to trust your own decision. So in workshops, I think I've gotten better at having a thicker skin, not going out in the parking lot and crying, like I used to do. Now that the book's out in the world, I'm starting to get book reviews. I'll tell you about two of my favorites. Not. One of them is a 1-star review on Goodreads, and it said, "I was not a spoiled brat, and my mother raised me well." I think, okay, this this is not my audience. And the other one said, 3-star review, it was good enough. I liked it well enough, but not enough to give it more than 3 stars. I mean, it's a funny process. Everybody's not going to like it, and that's okay.
Well, I think this has been really interesting. I don't know what else to ask you about the book. Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, we can open it up. I really appreciate everyone coming. Thanks.
I want to jump
You
in.
can unmute yourself and just raise your hand, and yeah.
Okay, I unmuted myself, Mary.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you, first of all, I love the book. I read the book, as you well know, and I love the cover. And I was wondering if you, because I know that with She Writes Press, they give us a few different options for cover ideas. Can you talk to us a little bit about that, what that was like, and how many cover designs you got and how you got to where you landed?
I probably went through about 20 different designs. The original idea was to really theme it around the white Bronco. Like we tried just the white Bronco on the freeway. We tried it in a little television box. They were really cute, and I really liked the idea at first, but then I started thinking, I don't know, it's not really about OJ. And then Brooke Warner, the publicist, said, yeah, we've heard that OJ likes to sue people. So that's probably not a good direction to go in. I mean, they say that even bad publicity is good publicity, but I don't want to get sued by OJ Simpson. So then they said, well, let's just go back to a California theme. And they were coming up with all kinds of palm trees and LA skylines. And I thought, no, it's not about LA. So I just started looking through that Shutterstock image stuff. And I actually found the image. And I just really like the bars because it just looks, like the characters are feeling sometimes. And I really liked it's Julie Metz and her team. I mean, they know how to turn it into a cover. So yeah, I'm really happy with it.
It's brilliant. Really, I love it. And I love the font, and I love the way the title pops, that red against the blue sky. So it's really beautiful. Well done.
Thank you. And my dear friend sent me some flowers with the same colors. So I'm just really happy about that. Hey, there's my dad. Hi, Dad. Anybody else have any questions?
I had my hand up, but I'll jump in anyway here. Just speak right up. So it always interests me that as I remember being in art school and the comments and criticisms that oftentimes people of an artistic flair remember are the negative ones. So you gave us two that were on the lower scale. Can you give a couple that made your heart sore?
That is really true, Diana. I mean, I've been to a couple of writing conferences, and I go back and look at my notes, and all I've written down is the bad stuff people said, which is, that's so wrong. It's just such negative talk, right? Well, I'm really thrilled by Susan Straight. I don't really know her, but I sent her my book. If you don't know Susan Straight, she writes about Southern California, and I think she's brilliant. And she said my novel was deeply and thoroughly Southern California, and I was really thrilled by that. Yeah, I mean, like Richard Bosch had really nice things to say about my voice, and he liked the way that I wove the history in. So that was really important to me because I really respect his opinion. So yeah, you're right. I do need to remember the good ones.
It helps us sleep better at night. Because, and not only that, but like you had mentioned that, probably not your audience, right? So the comments from your audience are the ones, I think too, that have weight to them. But congratulations. I'm proud to be your friend.
Hi, Dad. Are you muted?
Hi, Howard. Good to see you.
Good to see you. This is my dad, Louis E. Parker. He is 98 years old, soon to be 99. And he is Mr. Zoom. He was giving me tips today. So thanks for showing up.
Lou had
I'm glad I got on.
sisters.
Yeah, and Carol is Lou's niece. And she is the daughter of my dad's second to the youngest sister, right?
Right.
Yeah.
He out all his three sisters. Hello, Lou.
And how are you, Carol?
I'm doing great.
Good. Are you bicycling somewhere?
Pardon?
Are you bicycling today? Seems like every time I hear about you, you're on a trip.
No, I'm at home, but I've got one. Mary, I have a question for you.
I'm impressed with the number of people you have on your Zoom.
Oh, I really appreciate everyone coming. I know everyone's really tired of Zoom, so thank you all for showing up.
I'm going to go retrieve my granddaughter, so I'm going to bail.
Okay.
Thank you all for coming, and Mary, great book, great job.
Thank you, Peter. I really appreciate it.
Good
Good
night,
to see you, Peter.
Good to see you.
Bye.
I'm
I'm going to stick around, so if anybody needs to leave, that's fine. But
I had a
thanks, Peter.
quick question for Mary. What other events do you have coming up?
Well, thank you. This is my first one. I'm doing Instagram Live with Bel Canto Books in Long Beach. If you're not familiar with Bel Canto Books, it's run by this dynamo woman named Joanna Belfer, and it's in a place called The Hangout, which is a really cool space on 4th Street in Long Beach. It's impossible to find a place to park there. So I'm glad we're doing it on Instagram Live. But yeah, we're doing that next Wednesday at 5 o'clock. And then I'm doing another Zoom with Mary Vollmer. Some of you know her. That's through Orinda Books in Northern California. And that's on June 17th at 4 o'clock. And then I'm doing a live in-person meet and greet at Libremobile in the back alley in Santa Ana. So I'm super excited about that. This is Libremobile's first event since the pandemic. So, and I don't know if you saw me on my social media yesterday, but I put some books because they actually reopened the store on yesterday. And so I put some books in ahead of time, and Lisa got to go and buy one. So it was wonderful.
Very, very exciting. And the Instagram Live, you have to, for the Bel Canto, in order to access it, I have to like be on their stream, right?
Yeah, and I think it only really works. I'm not an expert, maybe some of you are, but you have to be on an iPhone or an iPad.
Okay.
I don't think it works on a laptop or a regular computer.
I think if you're on Instagram, you can watch someone else's live stream, but you can't
Okay.
be on it.
But you can't be on it. Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah. I think that's it. I just have to go like Bel Canto and then I'll be able to see you. I think that's how it works.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. This is wonderful.
Mary, is
Stacy?
there a place where that song list is available?
It's on Spotify, and I can share it on my website, and I'll figure out another way to send it out, maybe on my email list. That was
Okay.
fun. If you don't know, I'm a huge music fan, and there's music all through the book. So I really had a good time trying to match the songs with the character and kind of move the story along. So that was fun.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks. Anybody else? Hi, Valerie. Okay. Well, this is terrific. Thanks very much for joining me. I hope you like the book. If you like it, give me a 5-star review so I can sleep at night. If you don't like it, just tell me why, but don't write a review.
I just want to say, I think you're doing all the right things during a really tough time to get your book and yourself out there. And I think from what I've learned, those reviews mean a lot. I know there was an alumna of the Community of Writers conference, Devi Lasker, who was always sort of asking, send in the reviews, and she had some algorithm that you want like 40 Amazon reviews.
Now you're saying 50 and I'm hearing 60. I don't know. Leslie and Suzanne probably know because they've got hundreds.
So yeah, happy to help. So I started it last night. As soon as I finish my grading, I'll be able to you're going to be my big treat. So
it's a weird thing, right? Because I don't really want to encourage people to shop at Amazon, and you don't have to buy the book from Amazon to write the review on Amazon. Sometimes they get a little sticky. Like sometimes they'll say, oh, it looks like you're friends with this person, or you haven't bought enough from us, but yeah, I feel kind of hypocritical. It's like, buy my book at an indie bookstore, but write a review on Amazon.
You're just using all the tools. That's okay. Yeah. Right. What is it? And you're using new tools too. It's like what Audre Lorde said, the master's tools cannot dismantle the master's house. So you use everything, right?
I like that.
Yeah. No, use it all.
Hey, Mary.
Hi, Kathy. I can't see you, but I see your name.
Yeah, I don't have my camera on, but I got my book yesterday and started reading it last night, and I love it.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
Yeah, very proud of you. And didn't you tell me that you were starting another book or working on another novel?
I am. I'm not working on it very seriously right these days, but I have another book that I'm excited about. It's linked stories about characters that live in my neighborhood. It's much later. It's in time. It's post-Trump, pre-pandemic. And it's also set in Huntington Beach because there is so much to write about here. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Look forward to that one too.
Hi, Dave. Hi, Steve. Making some more headway with it.
Hey.
Anybody else? Lisa.
Yeah. It's so I just want to say it's so nice to be with people that aren't the people I live with. Not that I don't love them, but that's really all I've seen the last year. You all look so beautiful. Even the new Zoom boxes are very exciting. New names. But I was thinking of libraries, right? Yeah. Because I know, having published a couple anthologies on small presses, it was really key to get into the library system, and to suddenly sort of when the Orange County Library system said okay to the Orange County Anthology, suddenly it was like a real book. And I don't know if there's any strategy for that.
You know, I've been asking people to request it from their local libraries.
Mhm.
I don't know how effective that is. I'm even having trouble getting it into my Huntington Beach library right now, which is not part of the Orange County library system.
Right.
But maybe I should head for Orange County library system. Maybe that's a better strategy.
I think they're responsive, especially to regional authors. I think that was our sort of pitch. And then we even had readings at the libraries. That's the other thing.
That would be great.
Because and often the friends of the library were a way in, right? And so we got to visit, you know, we got to go to, you know, La Habra and Brea and Cypress and places in Orange County that I didn't even know were part of Orange County. It was wonderful. And the thing about the friends of the library is they're readers, right? And so I'm wondering, I'll look up and see if I have my list of friendly librarians. But the thing about getting a book in a library is then the life of it and the ability to get it into readers' hands is it's a wonderful thing. Yeah, because the big Huntington Beach book, you know.
You know, it's kind of sad. I am a friend of the library, and I have been reaching out to them, and they've been passing me on to other people that are not responding to me. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what's up with them.
All right. Well, I also know a couple really cool librarians, so maybe I will just sort of and one's one of my Facebook friends.
Well, on my screen, one of them is right next to you, Stacy Russo. She's a librarian at Santa Ana College.
I am a librarian, not at a public library. I'm at an academic library, but of course we still order fiction. Obviously, there are English classes at the college. Yeah, I would just try to send emails to reference librarians or library directors, promoting yourself as a local author. But I can honestly say, as a librarian, I do receive a lot of emails, even though I'm at a college, from people wanting me to add their book to the collection. And generally, the budgets are limited. And there's all these policies. So it's not that easy.
Yeah.
But I think using the fact that you're a local writer could be what really helps you.
And as Stacy was saying, it occurred to me that one of the places to start is the Irvine Valley College Library, because I think I think they'd be interested in you as an alum, right? And also, I think we are building a little bit of a collection of local writers and regional writers, because so many of us are now teaching those in our classes, you know, with that sort of hyper local focus. So yeah, I can tell it's the end of the semester because I'm having new ideas. They're springing up in my head. So I'm making a list here. I'll follow up. This will be fun to.
And you probably all know that if you go for writers, if you go to worldcat.org, you can generally see which libraries might have your book.
World Cat. I see Suzanne and Leslie nodding. So
yeah, I'm thinking of the OC libraries, like the Anaheim Library has a pretty active a series of events that my students sometimes go to. They have a stand-up poetry event. They often have a writers come, and I think also the library I'm thinking of is in Garden Grove as well. So yeah, anyway, not that you're not busy enough, but what a wonderful project.
I like that idea.
Yeah, we visited the librarians at Garden Grove have not just a Friends of the Library group, they have a writers group. And so we were able to visit and talk to their writers group, and it was like a community writing workshop. And those were all readers. And I think they had enough in the budget to buy the book for the people in the community workshop. So that was a nice thing. I think it was just like our $20 Orange County book. So it was nice.
Yeah, that's great. Things are opening up again. It's so exciting.
Yep.
Okay. Are we zoomed out?
Good. Congratulations again. Good to see you.
Thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you coming. Bye. I guess we can
Congratulations.
sign off. Thank you, Leslie. It's good to see you here.
Good to see you too.
Congratulations again, Mary.
Thank you, Stacy. Stacy has a new book coming out too, so this is awesome.
We'll look
Wish
for
we
it.
were having drinks.
Could be.
Carol, when are you traveling to California again?
I don't know. I haven't flown anywhere recently, but I've started soon. So maybe sometime soon.
Leslie just got back from Hawaii. I'm super jealous.
It was nice.
Yeah.
Good way to go to recuperate from a book launch, huh?
I needed it. Yes, definitely.
How do you feel, Mary? How do you feel?
I feel pretty excited. I mean, I had a lot of fun yesterday.
Yeah.
It looked like it. It looked fun.
It was really fun. I'm trying to make things fun.
It's great that you got your book into so many stores.
Yeah, and these are small stores, but they mean a lot to me because I shop there and I know people that shop there, so it's great. And Barnes and Noble is they were actually, when I found the right person to talk to in person, they were super nice.
Yes,
They said I can go over there and sign the books, and they'll set up a display for me. So
that's what I did. That's great.
Yeah,
So
it's just finding the right person, right? It's a challenge.
Yes.
Yeah, but you and Suzanne are both doing so well. I'm so proud of your success. And
Oh, thanks. Hopefully, who knows what, because we don't see anything about what we're selling.
We don't know where we stand, but
no idea.
It feels like an ongoing process too. It doesn't
One
really.
thing I'm really trying not to do is like look at Goodreads and look at Amazon and see where my numbers are.
It's not fun.
By the way, I wanted to jump in and tell you that we all get bad reviews. I've got some pretty nasty reviews.
Me too.
So I think that means you've arrived, right?
Yes. Did you get any bad reviews yet?
Well, just a 1-star, but she was just complaining that the girls were badly behaved and the mother wasn't a good mother. And it's like,
oh my God, that's what she's basing.
I would say you're right.
Yeah. No, I got some really bad reviews on Goodreads, and so far nothing bad on, one bad review on Amazon, but that's it. Amazon's been great. It's Goodreads that the trolls jump out at you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's human nature to want to look and see what people say, but I think it's probably healthier not to look all the time, like every 5 minutes.
Exactly.
Sometimes it makes you feel great, and other times it makes you feel awful.
Yesterday, I'm thinking, God, I don't have any Amazon reviews at all. Well, duh, the book just came out.
Yeah, you won't. Yeah, it takes a day or something for people who have already read it to start putting them up. Oh, that's right. I can move mine over to you. That's right. I can do that today. I'll do that today.
Maybe I'll have 3 because I have 2 now.
I forgot that we could do that. Okay, I'm going to do that today.
Yeah.
Suzanne, I moved mine over to you, right?
You did.
I did. Okay, I just want to make sure, because it's like you put them on Goodreads and you forget.
I'm waiting to hear from Amazon that my review for Mary went through. I'm going to keep checking because I did it the second that she asked in the 2021 cohort page.
Right.
I'm going to keep looking, and if not, I'm going to send it again.
Sometimes I've seen reviews that just get stuck. Like I thought I'd submitted it, and then I go and look, and it says, "Do you want to review this book?" And I think I already did.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
I'm going to do it again.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to head out.
Okay, well, thanks for coming. I really appreciate it.
Sure. And I will, I told my sister about your book too, because she likes to read all these books, and she got Suzanne's. So I told her about yours, and she loved the O.J. Simpson thing. So she said she was going to get it afterwards. So, okay, well, good luck, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
I don't know how I did this, Mary. I actually ordered 2 copies.
Oh, well, bless your heart.
I ordered 2. Yeah, that's okay. It's a good problem to have. No, I did it with Deborah Shepherd's book too. I guess I just don't want to miss out, and I don't want to forget to order the book. So I keep doing that.
I've done that too with Bookshop. I forget that I've ordered it, and then I ordered it again, but that's okay. You can always give it to a bookstore or something.
Yeah, that's true.
Great.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. I'm really happy for you. You're
Yep.
doing great.
You are doing great, Mary.
Thank you, Carol. It's really good to see your face here.
Mary,
Yes, and to see Steve.
Yeah.
I'd just like to say.
Hi, Joe. I don't think I know who you are, but thanks for coming. And we're just about done. So
I know. I was just at the doctor's and I just caught a bit of it. But Diana Wagman is a dear friend, and
Oh.
she let me know that of your
Okay.
great success here. So
oh, thank you. Well, I
congrats.
recorded this, as you probably know, so I'll put a link up. So
What did you just say?
I said I recorded this, so I'll let you know.
Oh,
I'll
excellent.
let Diana know.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I know it's right on the hour. So
Yeah.
That's nice. Nice.
how long were you working on your book? Do you know?
I started about 6 years ago,
Yeah. Okay.
but then I signed with She Writes Press about 2 years ago.
That's
So,
what I'm interested in. That's what Diana was recommending. Mhm.
are you thinking about She Writes Press?
Yeah.
Well,
What was your
also a She Writes Press author, so and her book is done wonderfully. So
what do you mean her book?
her book is called The Sound of Wings.
Very good. Yeah, you got cut off there. That's why she was asking.
Okay.
Mary, by the way, we have almost identical journeys because I began my book 6 years ago and I signed with She Writes 2 years ago. So I think we're all on the same timeline.
And how's your second book coming?
We will talk about that.
So you both must have loved She Writes.
Yeah, it's a great community and it's a really polished product and they deliver what they promise. So yeah.
I agree.
I'm going to look them up then. Yeah. I went and visited them in LA. I was going to teach with one of the girls things there, but I never, and I moved. So, well, good to know about. And I'll check out the book.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Great to see everyone.
Yeah. Thanks.
Good job.
Mary.
Look forward to reading it, Mary.
Yep. Looking forward. Yep.
Okay.
Good to see you, Mary.
Good to not see you, Kathy.
I know, right? It's too hot here. I'll let you know if I'm going to be in the area.
Okay, terrific.
Yeah. I'll give you a review on Amazon too. Looking forward to doing that.
Only if you like it.
Oh, I already like it, so that's a given. All right, take care, you guys.
Okay, you too.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. So Carol, how's the family? Oh, how was your trip to Key West?
Florida is hot. So, but the dry tortugas were pretty neat and we had a good boat ride. I mean, it wasn't stormy weather, so that part was good. And we found a kind of nice restaurant, but we were there for such a short period of time. We stayed over in Marathon and then went up to Homestead where we hit some more parks. So it was kind of a whirlwind trip. But I will not move to Florida because April was already really hot. And then with their governor, I will not move to Florida. I'm not planning to go back to Florida while he's governor. So
I heard that he's going to fine cruise ships if they require proof of vaccination.
Yep. Yeah, I know. So they just won't come. But I saw Jay and Nancy while I was there, and they're doing fine. We'll be going back to Costa Rica, I guess, full time in October. So, and